Permit suspension is set to be lifted this week. What CAL FIRE says you need to know.
We got a break from wet weather for today, but we are looking at more of that rain in the forecast and weather impact alert days. Details coming.
A newly proposed California Senate bill would allow Californians to seek damages from federal agents. I have more from both sides of the issue.
A strong chlorine smell in the tap water. People in one Chula Vista neighborhood want answers.
Remembering Padres pitching legend Randy Jones, not just for what he did on the field, but off the field as well.
Transforming their neighborhood one wall at a time. The beautification of Southeast San Diego.
CBS 8 News live at 6 starts now.
Breaking news out of our nation's capital, where less than an hour ago, President Trump signed a bill to release the Epstein files. The president's signature on the measure will now compel the Justice Department to release all unclassified documents within 30 days.
The bill moved faster than expected, passing the House with all but one member voting in favor. Then almost immediately, the Senate agreed to the bill with unanimous consent. The president has also ordered a new investigation into Epstein's alleged ties with prominent Democrats, which some lawmakers worry the DOJ could use to delay the release of the files.
Our other top story tonight, following days of cool and wet weather, CAL FIRE officials say they will be lifting a suspension on residential burn permits this week. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. This move will allow valid permit holders to resume burning on permissible burn days. CBS 8's Steffi Roche joins us live from outside CAL FIRE San Diego headquarters with what people need to know. Steffi?
Right. Well, the suspension will be lifted at 8 a.m. on Friday. Now, CAL FIRE officials, they tell me that CAL FIRE must inspect agricultural burns before burning, and inspections may be required for residential burns. Cooler weather, increased humidity, and seasonal rainfall have reduced wildfire risk across the region. CAL FIRE and San Diego County Fire Captain Mike Cornett urges residents to use extreme caution when conducting debris or agricultural burns.
So this is going to allow for homeowners to continue to burn their landscape debris and any green clippings or vegetation that they remove around their property on permissive burn days when it is allowed to do so.
People may be held civilly and or criminally liable if a fire escapes or damages neighboring property. During this favorable weather window, state, federal, and local agencies will also be conducting prescribed burns. And if we continue to have rain and humid weather, this may remain in effect until spring or even into early summer. It really just depends on how much rain we do see this year. But those approved burn hours will be from 8 a.m. until sunset. For now, reporting live from El Cajon, I'm Steffi Roche, CBS 8.
Thanks, Steffi. It was a much clearer and cool day across the county, but no rain. I didn't see any anyway, but you will want to keep your umbrella handy.
It's in the car. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis joins us now for the impact we can expect for this next round of rain. Carlene.
That's right. Mine's in the car, one's in the purse. I'm fully loaded. I just need it because we are looking at another inch of rainfall in the forecast, adding to the inches that we've already seen with previous storm systems over the past 7 days. So yeah, we are in store for more of it. When we set the clock in motion, when can we expect it to really arrive? Well, it looks by tomorrow afternoon that we're going to start to have that rainfall more widespread, more likely in the forecast, and taking us through about Thursday night. It will still linger as we go into our Friday forecast as well, and so we could be seeing additional rainfall totals that could bring the potential of even seeing more of those flood advisories going into effect. So you have some lighter activity around 10:50 in the morning, really kind of isolated out there, but it becomes more widespread as we hit the afternoon hours. This is about 3:40 for tomorrow. You're seeing a heavier pocket of rainfall right there for Poway. Looking at that continue into about 6:10 for tomorrow evening. We're still looking at pretty active pattern as we go into about 8:55, and then it starts to lift out a little bit more towards the east around 11:20, and still some lingering showers into Friday. We'll go ahead and talk about those rainfall totals coming up. Marcella.
Thanks, Carlene. And as always, you can find our extended weather forecast on CBS 8 Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. With all of the recent rain, you may have noticed more potholes opening up along your commute.
Since last Thursday, the City of San Diego's Get It Done app has received dozens of requests for pothole repairs. But with more rain on the way, work to fix them can't start just yet. Experts with Public Works say while large potholes in major roads are fixed immediately, they hold off on the more minor repairs until the rain has passed.
Operations don't stop entirely. We're still able to utilize bagged asphalt as needed for emergencies. However, the real work comes once the rain lifts.
Thanks to a bigger fleet, when crews get back to work, they will be able to address new reports quickly with an average repair time, they say, of 3 days. If you see any potholes in your neighborhood, you can report them to the city's Get It Done app.
New video tonight from an intense scene that unfolded at Pincerella Roman Pizza in Vista last night. An employee says he was cleaning the unit, actually turned it off, but then while he was in there, it started moving and his leg got caught in the industrial pizza dough cutting machine. Now, firefighters from Vista, San Marcos, and CAL FIRE rushed to help. Fire crews brought in the jaws of life, tools typically used in serious car crashes. While some firefighters worked to cut the man free, others kept him calm. It took just under an hour to free him.
In industrial type of incidents, you see the end result of a terrible accident. It's pretty rare to see somebody that's actually caught in machinery on scene and call in for a rescue of that nature. It's pretty rare.
The man, we're told, did suffer very severe injuries to his feet, but the good news is that he is expected to recover. A man convicted of threatening to shoot up Shoal Creek Elementary was sentenced today to 2 years in prison, but tonight he's already been released on parole. Lee Lohr got credit for 18 months already served, and the judge noted he had no criminal record. Lohr was also ordered to stay 100 yards away from the school and the principal and was advised to get mental health treatment. New legislation was passed because of this case, making it a crime to threaten any harm against a building like a school.
Vista is now a sanctuary city. Its city council voted 3-2 late last night to limit local law enforcement collaboration with ICE and Homeland Security. The resolution includes prohibiting federal immigration enforcement on city properties without a warrant and protecting residents' personal data. Mayor John Franklin voted against it. He says it undermines public safety and federal cooperation. A newly proposed state bill is looking to give Californians the right to seek damages against ICE agents or other federal officers for violations during search warrants.
CBS 8's Alex Cheney joins us live with what supporters and critics are saying tonight. Alex?
Yeah, that's right. The newly proposed Senate Bill 747, or the No Kings Act, is a first-in-its-nation bill that's going to hold local, state, and federal officials responsible for any damages they make during raids. However, opponents of the bill say it's unnecessary. Cell phone video captured arrests across North Carolina over the weekend. Customs and Border Protection smashed the truck window of a man who was detained and released after CBP says he showed he's an American citizen. Proposed last night in the California State Senate, SB 747, called the No Kings Act, will allow Californians to bring a lawsuit for any monetary damages against any federal, state, and local officer who violates their constitutional rights.
So this is a return to trying to create normalcy and some state of people feeling safe, because people are actually feeling unsafe.
The bill is authored by State Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco, who also wrote and passed SB 627, which bans law enforcement from wearing masks to hide their identities. Assemblymember Alvarez says both Senate bills give power back to the people.
What is happening is not okay. It is not normal. And so through these laws we've been passing and introducing in the state, we're trying to create that normalcy for people.
However, those opposed to the bill call it unnecessary.
So this is just a solution in search of a problem.
Corey Gustafson says there are already ways to get recourse through the federal government and calls the No Kings Act overbroad.
So this idea that we need the state of California to be making law in an area that there is already federal law is completely ridiculous.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, people can file a claim for property damage, loss, personal injury, or death resulting from action taken by U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Now, the Senate bill that prohibits law enforcement from wearing a mask goes into effect January 1st. However, right now, it's still going through federal court. Also, Senator Wiener said the No Kings Act will most likely also face a little bit of resistance as it begins its way through the state Senate process. I'm Alex Cheney, CBS 8.
Thank you, Alex. Tragic news out of the sports world today as Randy Jones, a former Padres pitcher and broadcaster, passed away.
CBS 8's Steve Price is following the story for us. He takes a look back at Jones' life and career and shares how the former Friar is being remembered tonight.
Randy Jones retired from baseball long before Petco Park was even built, but he's such a Padres legend. There are tributes to him all throughout the ballpark. But here's the thing, as much as people loved Randy on the field, they also loved him off it. He was the first Padres pitcher ever to win 20 games in a season and followed that up with 22 wins the next year when he became the first Padres player to ever win the Cy Young Award.
He was one of the highlights on a very bad baseball team.
Bob Chandler was the Padres announcer when Jones made his major league debut in 1973. And in 1974, Jones was awful, losing 22 games. But instead of quitting, he reinvented himself.
Turned his sinker into a lethal weapon. And Randy led the National League in earned run average, beat out Tom Seaver in 75. And then in 76, he won the Cy Young Award, the best pitcher in the National League.
Former teammate Kurt Bavacqua calls Jones a competitor, regardless of how badly the odds were stacked against him.
If you're not a competitor, you're not going to get away with the stuff that he used to throw.
An arm injury cut Jones's career short, but he loved the Padres and San Diego, so he stuck around.
Barbecued burgers, nothing greater.
And opened a barbecue stand at the Padres' old stadium in Mission Valley, where you often saw him mingling with fans.
Randy the person was even better than Randy the pitcher.
Bob Chandler says that's the thing about Randy Jones. He made time for everyone.
He did charities. I've never seen him turn down an autograph request. He tried to help, the military, kids, the charities. It was just an amazing person.
CBS 8 did several stories with Randy over the years, but this one with John Howard, when a fan asked for an autograph during an interview, perfectly shows his personality.
What's the value of this signature? Is there any idea, Randy, what that might be value worth?
Absolutely nothing.
A cause of death has not yet been released. Randy Jones was 75 years old. Steve Price, CBS 8.
Such a kind man. Everybody who met him got that warmth.
And even post-Padres playing Randy Jones barbecue, he had a whole new fan base and just stayed so active with the Padres
and in the
so
community.
many other community organizations. Yeah, he'll be missed.
Yeah. A familiar face enters the race to be California's next governor.
We're taking a look at the growing field of candidates and how a ruling on Texas's congressional maps could impact the voter-approved Proposition 50 here. Those stories still ahead.
Plus, UC Regents approve a new tuition hike. We'll tell you what's changing.
And the concerns we're hearing tonight about an odd odor from water in some South Bay homes after this.